What is up, Showminators? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are back with a new episode of the International Student Series, where we share our experiences and some tips to help you make a better decision when you're picking a college here in America. All right, for today's episode, we have a special guest. His name is Ishan Desai. He's my really good friend from Michigan State University. So everybody give him a shout out. All right?
Hello.
So Ishan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so as my dear friend Shomu said, that my name is Ishan Desai. I'm originally from Mumbai, India. I came here and did my electrical engineering at MSU, and then later on pursued my master's degree in Oakland University in Mechatronics and Robotics.
Congratulations, that is a lot.
Thank you.
And I think that's why your advice is something that the viewers would really appreciate. But before we get into the details, I think the viewers want to know, among the universities that you applied to and were accepted into, why did you pick MSU?
So, when I was applying to universities, I had applied to a bunch of universities in the US and Canada, out of which I had applied to MSU, I had applied to Virginia Tech, I had applied to Purdue, then I had applied to University of Toronto, and I can't remember right now, but I had applied to one or two more universities in Canada. I think York University was one of them.
All of them are great universities, by the way.
Yeah, my primary reason for choosing MSU was they gave me the most scholarship. So basically, what my tuition could have been, it was just half of that. And another reason was since I'm an only child, my parents felt that sending me to somewhere there where there's like someone they know is better for them. So like I have a bunch of relatives in Michigan, so they felt at ease if I went to MSU.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Having family in this transition definitely helps. So I feel like that was a great decision that you made, and I'm glad that I met you in college. So now, looking back, what was your best, experience in college?
So my best experience in college was definitely meeting all these wonderful people I met at MSU. One of them being our show host, the great Shomu.
Thank you.
Great Shomu, one of them. And the other is just the overall experience where you have to go to college, the professors teach you, but even though they teach you, you have to basically do everything on your own for a project, for a homework. You have to study on your own. You can take help from like help rooms, and that is an overall it's like a whole community experience where you won't get everything on a silver spoon, but there are enough clues out there to reach your goal.
I really like that answer. All right. And so the next question that I have, I think the viewers really want to know this answer before they actually make a decision. And that is, what challenges did you face as an international student here in America, and how did you overcome them?
So one of the initial challenges I had experienced in America was being very direct. So what I mean by that is, since I'm an international student, we have to go through this international student orientation before our college starts, where they tell you what is accepted in what is normally socially accepted here, what is not accepted. One of the key things, the first thing that was told to us was Americans are very direct.
Yeah.
Now in India, I was not a very direct person, and because we normally how they
raise us.
Normally how they raise us in
Yeah.
India is we have to be very respectful,
Right.
very mindful of things you say. But here it's kind of different. Here it's the freedom of expression is much higher, so you can openly say what you want.
And you can be to the point, basically.
To the point. That's what I mean. Not openly. Even you can say things openly in India as well. But here it's very direct, to the point. If you have something, just say it. That is one thing. Other things was, as I mentioned earlier, that you have to basically do everything on your own. That was a big challenge for me coming from India.
That is, I think, a big challenge for me too, because even I had people helping me out all the time, but then when I came here, I had to cope up with all those responsibilities.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now, if you could go back to college, what would you do differently?
So if I could go back to college from day one, one thing I would definitely do was join more clubs. Specifically for me, I would join more technical clubs. I can explain this by an example. So during my final year for my capstone project, I was working for a club in MSU called the Solar Car Racing Team.
Very interesting.
If I had joined that in my first year and worked closely with them, I could understand their needs way better till my final year. Then, deliver a product that they would definitely use, build on, and better understand what they want.
I definitely agree with that. I think being part of clubs is a part of the international student experience, and many students miss out on that. And I think that is something I would do differently as well. Okay, so now the last question for the normal segment is that, do you think this degree, both of them, was worth it?
I totally believe both the degrees are worth it. One being because America has like the best educational institutes in the world, like one of the best education institutes in the world, right? And like, if you think about it, you might end up working in America, you might end up working in whichever country, you're back in your home country. Education is something no one can take away from you, right? So you should get it from the best possible source.
And I feel like America does have the best like higher education infrastructure in the world. And I definitely agree with that answer. Okay, so now the second last question I have for you is, so in my video, I mentioned that after spending 4 years here, I really did not feel that going to the highest ranked university is going to make that much of a difference in your American dream or the American experience. I feel like even if you're somewhere around the like hundreds or 200s, you should be enough and you should be able to land a job. How do you feel about that?
So yes, you are absolutely right. College ranking overall should not matter that much. Like even if you end up going to a college that is not even in the top 200, let's say, it's still a college degree.
Yeah.
You've worked 4 years for it, so you should get a job for it. The only place where higher ranking universities play a role is probably it makes it easier to land the first interview in bigger companies, because it's like a filter. They'll see, oh, you went to this amazing institution, let's give you an interview. So the first interview you might get a better, but that obviously is not a guarantee that you'll get a job. You can graduate from the best university in the world, but if you don't land the interviews well enough, you cannot get the job. So
Agreed. I think so far you have given the truth and the best answers possible to these questions. So thank you so much for that. And the last question of this segment is that, so you're someone who completed their bachelor's and went straight into their master's, right? Is this something that you would recommend for somebody who's considering coming here?
I wouldn't discourage anyone to directly go to a master's from undergrad, but I feel like we're getting some work experience after undergrad and before your master's will give you two things: a competitive edge for obtaining better opportunities after your master's, and one, when you start working in a particular field, it'll give you a broader perspective on what you want to do your master's in. So what I mean by, let's say, like a popular route for many people is doing an engineering degree and then doing an MBA. So it's easy to make that choice if you're going directly from undergrad to master's, right? Because you've already made up your mind you want to do an MBA, and then you can only target specific roles and like because of your MBA. But let's say you do an engineering degree, but then you work for 3 years in a technical role and you really enjoy it and you do want to pursue this as your future. So will you do a master's in MBA or engineering? That becomes a big question afterwards.
So the experience will change the decision that comes next.
Yeah, it can change it. But once you take that decision early on to directly do masters, you'll be stuck on it. Like for me, I directly took that option because I love technical roles. Like I love engineering. I never wanted to do an MBA.
I understand, and thank you for clarifying that. And I think that is something that our viewers would really get the benefit of. So now we're done with the whole segment, and now at the very end of the video, what we do is we want you to basically share any tips or tricks that you have and you have learned along the way, as an addition to all the answers that you've provided.
So a modern tip would be use AI, but when I say use AI, I do not mean use them for your technical projects or anything, but you know how you have to write reports, you have to write a bunch of documents in your whole college experience. It comes like you end up writing a dozen documents that you may not want to prioritize that much time to. Their AI can be helpful. Obviously, I'm not saying you should just tell AI to write it for you and just copy paste it, but it's a good starting point. Like let's say it can give you a brief way of how to start it, and then you can work on it. It makes things a little easier, faster, so that you can prioritize your time to the building a better project.
And basically focus on the actual work.
Yeah, exactly, more technical work.
All right. Thank you so much, Ishan, for being here. I think you have answered this perfectly, and I'm sure that the viewers really appreciate you coming here today. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm a proud Showmanator. I'll be glad if any of my answers is helpful to any of the viewers watching this video. Thank you so much.
I'm sure there will be. But for now, that was the end of this video, Showminators. We'll be back with more episodes.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.